My name's Andy and I'm a compulsive gambler. Last bet 14th of April 2007. Hi guys, I know I did one last Sunday, but it was quite a good popular bit of feedback from doing them last week. I thought I'd try and do another one this week. Might not happen every week, depending on time and things like that, but I've got a spare 20 minutes, half hour or so to have a chat and talk to people. If you're interested in listening to what I've got to say. I've had a good week. I managed to get to a Gamblers Anonymous meeting. Been very good. Had a couple of nice runs out this week as well, so feeling very fit. Feeling really good and really on top of everything at the minute. Work's going well, family life's going well. I'm just pretty relaxed and pretty chilled at the minute, so I'm happy. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask them, or anyone wants to talk and debate with each other, feel free. I will try and talk to as many people as I can, so feel free to give me a shout up. I'm going to carry on talking until I reach the first question, and I'll try and answer it the best I can. I've had a bit of fun today. Derby should have played today for my football team, but it's been snowing again, and it got called off. Unfortunately, so it is what it is, but I've had my fair share of cracks and jokes on Twitter today with it all, so it's been pretty funny. I've done a lot of tweeting, so that's the way it is. With regards, I've had people ask me why don't I swap over and have a separate account on Twitter just for the gambling stuff. I want people to see me, if you know what I mean. I want to see people I ask normal and things like that. And it's great that I could. Go. Hi Dick, thank you very much for a new subscriber. Hi Steve, hope you're well. If you've got anything to ask me, feel free to talk to me, that'd be great. Yeah, like I say, I like to keep in my own. I want to show people it's me. I want to try and act as if, well, not act, as in it is normal to have a problem with gambling, but to have a normal life if you continue in your recovery. Each day that passes by, life does get better. It might not feel like it when it's all raw and it's all come out to everybody. Well done, Steve. Nearly 3 months, day at a time, mate. For me, personally, it was the hardest time for me, first 7 or 8 months, well, year really, but it does get better, life does get better. I'm 99% certain I'll never gamble again. Just got to keep that 1% in check. It means talking to people, going to the GA meetings, hoping to keep talking and keep talking. Yeah, feel free, Dick. Yeah, you can do live vids. I'm a bit of a technophobe as well, to be honest, but feel free to ask some questions if you'd like to. I'm quite happy for you to try and answer them best I can. So, go for it. I can't constantly comment on that, David, as I'm on talking about gambling addiction and stuff and all that lot. So, what's done's done with the football today, mate. So, it's a bit of a laugh. Your next question will be about Mel Morrison, I imagine. I'll roll my eyes in a bit. So, yeah. I mean, I've been pretty good this week. It's like no thoughts of gambling or anything. I know Cheltenham's been on this week, and I've been hitting my tweeting hard with that, trying to show people that there is people out there who could talk to if you are struggling and things like that. I know a lot of people who will struggle through Cheltenham, and the Cheltenham Festival basically is in the UK. It's the biggest jumps racing in big jumps festival meeting in the world, I'd imagine nowadays. Similar to like your time when you have a Kentucky Derby and things in America, and Melbourne Cup in Australia and places like that. So yeah, it's a bit of a thing now where a lot of people go and watch the racing, and a lot of money changes hands and stuff and like that. But it is a big focus for me last week, was because I don't usually go after one form of gambling to say, look, because I think all forms of gambling are addictive to me because it's my problem and other people's problems who are struggling. But with Cheltenham, is more added pressure people tend to probably save up a bit of money or offload a lot more money on that kind of particular meeting, because it is a massive meeting. It's very well publicised as such as well. So it is a hard kind of thing to do. So, but there is people out there who you could talk to if you are struggling. Feel free to interact with me. I'm on Twitter at baronmad79.com. I'm not going to be as much talkative as I am with Facebook, because I like to keep that private for family and stuff like that. I might accept the odd thing through there, but I prefer if you contact me through Twitter at baronmad79. Feel free to message me. Anything you say is confidential and private. I'll never ever pass it on to anybody else whatsoever. It's safe with me. I'll like I say, I do it as the same as principles as Gamblers Anonymous as well. So whatever you say never goes anywhere else. Your name in it. Here we go, Steve. It's the same as giving up smoking, giving up drugs. It's not easy, but if you really want to do it, you will go through hard times. Exactly, Steve. Exactly. Couldn't be more correct. Smoking, drugs, alcohol. It's all the same. It's the same. If you want to do it, you can do it. I'm not saying it's easy. What I would say is don't set any targets. Think, oh yeah, I want to save as much money as this in 30 days time. Don't want to smoke for 30 days, see how much it saves me and all that. But you setting a target, it means if you're getting close to that target date, and it's a problem, and you don't think you'll make it, you end up having a shortcut, and then you end up having a gamble to like try and get there, and you end up with that spiral again, that slippery slope. You can achieve great things. It's amazing. At what point is a problem? Is it a problem? I do firmly believe you have to hit your rock bottom as such. I like to think some people start to realise they need help before they get there. But for me personally, I hit my rock bottom. I couldn't carry on with it all. Like I say, I've smashed it, quite well documented. I smashed my PC up with a hammer. My wife opened up some of my mail, and I knew I was down and out, really. There's only one further thing than rock bottom, and that's not being alive anymore. So you have to fight it. I mean, what point is it a problem? If you're totally converged into it, you're there hours after hours. I mean, look at me. I was either sleeping, working, or gambling, and the time I was doing gambling, I was like well away from all that. Really. Did I relapse from that moment, Matt? As in, like, when I first stopped, ever since I stopped on the 14th of April 2007, I've never relapsed. I went through stages, probably 6 to 8 months before, where I had, like, felt like I had a problem, but I tried to do it with willpower alone, and you can't do that. You can't, for me, personally. Yeah, I did, in a way, yeah. I had times where I had like 7 to 10 days off, not even touch it or anything, then I'll just go back to it again, and go back to it again, and go back to it again. You hear it really, so, and you hear many stories like that really. I did nearly 11 years, yep, day at a time. For me, I'll always have the problem, and that's it really. I just can't gamble. I can't never say never. I cannot gamble. So, JK, what's the secret? There's no secret. There's help out there. I go through Gamblers Anonymous and talk to other people at their meetings, and give me 1 second, Matt. I go to my meetings and talk to other people who are struggling or who are in recovery. That helps me a great deal. Getting the barriers in place, passing financial activity over to a partner or a friend or a family or anything like that. Getting yourself self-excluded from bookmakers, getting on the Gamban app for online activity as well and things like that. I think you have to do a lot of soul searching. You have to learn to take responsibility, really. Just lost. Okay, I was just losing the questions here. I'm getting quite a few questions here in a minute. Have I find a parallel for the thrills, Matt? Yeah, I do a lot of running, keeping myself fit. I've got family as well. That takes up a hell of a lot of time for me, really, and that's great. It's brilliant. I'm living life again to the full. Hi, Dick again. Is lotto gambling? Oh, it sure is. If you're staking a bet to win something, it is gambling. I couldn't buy a raffle ticket at a kid's school, at a kid's school fair or whatever, anything, any raffle, because you're staking something to get something. So what I usually do, I'll give them a couple of quid and they can keep the ticket. I don't want it. It's just like just basically an actual donation to charity. JK, do your mates gamble around you? Yeah, I work with people who all have a bet. I've got friends who have a bet now and again as well, and it doesn't bother me. My dad has a bet still to this day. He loves the horses and stuff like that. I know he's watching Cheltenham, and I know he has a bet every Saturday on the races and stuff like that. But it doesn't bother me. And end of the day, them people not got a problem. It's me who has the problem with gambling. They haven't got the problem with gambling. Hi, James Bond. Nice name. That's great stuff. What's the most ever lost in one go? You're talking 4 figures easy on one-hander poker. Talking about 1,100 on one-hander poker online. Just going for it crazy, really. My cumulative losses over 2 years was 60 grand. Maxed out 4 credit cards, couple of unsecured loans, secured loan to the house. So it built up over time, really. Dick, could you go Vegas on holiday? Nah, I don't fancy that at all. Probably the worst thing, really, for me. I could never do that. Cheers, Michelle. I really appreciate that. If you just carry on talking on here as well. I had a few last week as well who were interacting with each other. Hi, JK. Was the fobs as bad as 11 years ago? I gamble anything, not just on fobs. Fobs are fixed odds betting terminals or pokies in Australia and Canada, I believe. It's basically roulette and other games on there as well. End of the day, it's how accessible gambling is as well. I mean, I find all gambling is dangerous to a compulsive gambler. Not one set form of gambling, for me personally, would help or anything like that. Hi, James again. Do you declare bankrupt or pay them all off? I'm still paying them off to this day. I've got about 7-8 grand left of debt. I went through Step Changer originally, but now I'm going it alone. Step Changer debt charity service who help pay off debts for you. Basically what they do is act as a middleman to your creditors and help you budget and probably take the interest away for you and stuff like that. So now I'm not bankrupt at all, but I'm determined to pay every single penny off what I owe. I had 60 grand debt. I'm down to about the last 7 or 8 grand. I'm getting there, and hopefully I'll be able to pay it off in the next 2 to 3 years. Hi, AW. How do you feel about all the slot machine channels on YouTube? I feel like making... with the gambling, I mean, I've watched some of these, and yeah, I could see potential. I mean, you've seen people winning all the time and things like that, and it's hard to watch and all like that. What you need to do is probably walk away from them. If you feel like you've got a proper addiction, it's like leaving the cage door open for a lion. You're always going to carry on and things like that. That's okay, Dick. Okay, it's nice to see all interacting. It's brilliant. JK Step Change got me out loads. It did as well. Cheers, Michelle. Really appreciate that. Can I just ask when was your last gamble, Michelle? If you could tell me, please, that'd be brilliant. With, like I say, a gamble was a gamble for me on anything. I mean, I thought I was good at poker. I did all the tournaments mainly where I was just putting 10, 15 quid in at the start and getting chips. But then I went, like you say, Steve, yeah, no one's saying, for example, the slots channel help me keep off. If you feel like they keep them off for you, that's great. For me personally, it's leaving it's leaving the cage door open for me, and it's not really for me personally. Do you see, like I say, a gamble is a gamble to anything, really. Obviously, I thought I was good at poker, but I wasn't, and I just carried on and carried on. When I was winning big money, the stakes went up. When I started losing the money, the stakes stayed where they are, and that was why. Congratulations, Michelle. That is brilliant. Brilliant. What's that? About 18 months off, I think. It's all right. I'm not sure if your dates are around. It's because it's American dates, I think. That's what it is. I'm used to the British versions. Apologies, Michelle, but brilliant. Well done. Exactly, Michelle. I was the same. What is the most you won on a bet? Oh, I won 4 figures winning tournaments and stuff like that. I won 20 tournaments online, JK. Yeah, I won 20 tournaments online, all for like 4 figures and things like that. But then I went on the pure cash tables. That's it, Michelle. It's a bit better for me. I do apologise. Amazing, amazing. October 2016, day at a time. How did you recover at all? Yeah, you just got to stop. You just got to do it. I just think you have to learn to take responsibility. You can't go around blaming everybody else but yourself. For me, a lot of people say, why do that? Why do that? But end of the day, no one made me do it. If you know what I mean. James Bond. I started gambling on the horses when I was young. I don't know if you're in the UK or not. I started off young on called Grand National horse racing in the UK. Then just started betting every Saturday and things like that. Football, cricket, everything really. Started gambling on everything, especially when the addiction hit when I was in my early 20s. And you thought about doing this once a week. I may do this once a week. It just depends on work at the moment because sometimes I have to work weekends. But Sunday 9 p.m. looks pretty good for me. If it works for everybody else, I will try and do one once a week because I think it does help people. Yeah. This is brilliant. This is. It's brilliant how you're all interacting with each other and stuff and all that lot. What I would say, JK, with Gamblers Anonymous, everyone's there the same. Everyone's trying to get through it the same, and it's help. Cheers, Michelle. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm really coming to terms with the fact this could be a lot better. I mean, what I was doing before was just vlogging and just sharing my story for every couple of weeks or so. James Bond. Yes, I've had CBT therapy, but for something else completely different. I know gamblers go through that. Compulsive gamblers go through that, and I can safely say it helped me. Nice to talk to somebody else as well. Okay, that'll be great, Michelle. I'd like to link up with you. Obviously, you've got my Twitter, haven't you? So we have talked on Twitter as well. I know who you are. So feel free to direct message me and all like that. Yeah, CBT is cognitive behavioural recovery, Dick. You go and see a psychologist and you have like 6 sessions over here on an NHS where you can talk through your problems. It's like 6 1-hour sessions. There's also GAM Care available as well for people. I know some people have used it and liked it and some haven't, but like you say, whatever helps you, that'd be great as well. Really. I hope everyone's doing alright. That's exactly, Steve. Exactly, Steve. The best people to help people with addiction, those who have overcome the addiction themselves, I think. Totally agree. Totally agree. I lost 35k one, and then that's fair enough. I mean, James, some people had CBT and it's not worked for them. Some people had CBT and it's worked for them. Like I say, I strive to go to Gamblers Anonymous. Some people don't think it's their cup of tea. That's fair enough. As long as you can get help and reach out for help. and you can stay away from gambling, that's good enough for me. Cheers, Celine. Nice to see you again. Really appreciate it. So is it like an addictive personality? I'd say I've got a fairly addictive personality as well. Yeah, in a way. Exactly, Michelle. Exactly. You have to do what works for you. Yeah, and also you have to do it for you as well. You have to want it enough to stop. Otherwise, you're just going to continue in that spiral. Yeah, Jane, my friend, your friend found GA very useful. I'm glad. Like I say, best place for me is surrounded by other people who are going through recovery or need help as well. Exactly, Michelle. You have to put every ounce of real effort in. It has to be down to the individual. You can't, like I say, we could put as much money into help and services and education and everything as one, and which I strongly believe in is education and help. Especially education. Over in England, we talk about the dangers of sex, adult, alcohol, also cigarettes, smoking, things like that, and drugs in schools. Don't teach about gambling. Once you hit 18 in the UK, no one's taught you about what could be possible dangers in gambling. I've not got an opinion on Rock and Roller. All I know, I've talked to him once or twice, and he's a good guy. He helped me link up my channel with his for a bit. Like I say, I couldn't tell you if he's betting loads or anything like that, because I don't watch any streams of such. I've watched streams in the past just to educate myself a bit better, but he seems a decent guy. I can't really say a lot more about that. Okay. With the education, I'd love to see more education in the UK regards gambling. Yeah, so I do believe it'll be amazing to see that. Hi, Gamble Addict 123. Don't be sorry. Don't be bloody daft. Don't be daft. Thank you. Cheers, Michelle, for that. That's brilliant. Yeah, I knew you was well played, Where I remembered your name as well. I'm usually useless with names most of the time. Sometimes I forget my own. That's probably when I've had a few to drink. But has anyone who's watching at the minute gambled very recently? At all? Just being honest, James. Just being honest. I lost the trust. The biggest thing you lose is trust. In people lose trust in you, and you have to build it up. Really, so you have to really build on it again, day at a time. And it does get better, and the trust really does come back. You just have to keep being honest. As long as you're honest. That's the best thing. Hi Gareth, how many addicts do you think there are in the UK? I think there was someone put a survey years ago that said it was about 460,000, but it could be anything up to 2 million, I think. It could be affected by problem gambling. UK education to get rid of religious education and replace it with something else. I've got no opinion on that, JK, to be fair. So it's what it is at the minute. Would I stop my kids doing a raffle? That's a one. End of the day, my wife's got her own money. I've got my own money now. I can't stop people gambling. I'd rather see over 18s gambling, if you know what I mean. Only, but it is over in the UK. Luckily, my kids are not really interested into anything like that. Oh, my mum and dad live by the seaside, so there's arcades there, but they're happy playing on video games and things like that. I'm not going to stop them gambling when they get old enough. If they'll know my story, they can take lessons from it or anything like that. I just hope they don't get addicted, but they know the father's there if they need me and stuff like that. There's a theory that people turn to gambling when they need to turn gambling when they need to fill a void. Misses something in their life. No, I just went crazy with it. To be fair, I just had that. Look, I had plenty of time on my hands. I used to work a lot of night shifts, and nobody was be around in the house, so I just gambled. For probably sheer boredom more than anything. You'll find a lot of that. A lot of people who contact me through my DMs on Twitter. It's a lot about boredom. Really, I find it hard to watch sport now. I quit gambling. The fun just isn't there. Yeah, I know a lot of people like that, Gareth, who don't do it now. I mean, it's a culture change, especially in the UK. You walk into 10, even less than 5-10 years ago, you walk into somewhere at work and they'll be talking about the football game they watched and how to get on. Now on a Monday, it's how's your accumulator got on, or what bets did you have on and stuff like that. It's nice. It's great that people are actually helping here. Exactly, Steve. Exactly. Don't keep making excuses for the gambling problem. You have to do it for yourself. Really have to do it for yourself. What would I like to see the government do about it, JK? I do believe more funding into education services and treatment services would help. Like I say, it needs teaching in schools desperately. The amount of people who watch my vlogs and stuff, the majority of people are 18 to 30, and it's problem's only getting younger, not older, for me. I think people have visions of like Gamblers Anonymous with lots of old people there and things like that, without revealing anybody or anyone's individuality or person. The place is getting younger for me. Okay, James. Okay, for me, I had avoiding that. I had never been good with socializing, meeting people. It can be like a lonely thing, I suppose. Like I say, I always socialised and met people, and I was alright and stuff. I know people just turn to gambling because they've got nothing else to do. I'd love to do talks in schools. I think it'd be great. I'd love to do that. Why do you think education is a very effective approach, Matt? Just wondering. If you could give me definitely younger. It's aimed at young people now. Yeah, definitely gamble addict 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it is definitely younger. I see it in my DMs and things like that. You see how much there is. I mean, I think Gamble Aware, who's like the charity who help with like things, they get about 8.5 million a year off the industry. It should be so much more. No problem, Steve. Take care. All right. What's stopping you doing talks? I've got a full-time job at the minute. I've got a family to support and things like that. I do all this off my own back. Never made a penny off anything doing this. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to probably get into that kind of field of work one day. So who knows? But currently, like I say, I'm just a normal guy who decides to share a story, and it's come this far in the last 20 months or so, 21 months or so, and because gambling is not a harmful activity. It is to people who have problem gambling though, isn't it? I do think there is dangers there, risks there. It is a risk when you gamble. You're risking losing money. So I do believe some form of education about the risks of what could happen, especially like you say with drugs, with STIs, alcohol and cigarettes. I do believe it'd be there, really. You think it's more difficult to quit now than 10 years ago now? Do you think it's more difficult to quit now than 10 years ago? Now there is a lure of 24-hour business in your face. Yeah, honestly, Tim, I do agree. I'll have to agree in that aspect. It is harder to probably stop nowadays. It is saturation point over here in the UK, especially. Gambling's been normalised since the day the National Lottery started in the mid-90s. People want everything yesterday. I think it's just a 24/7 culture, not just with gambling, it's just everything really. People demand it and want it, don't they, unfortunately? So, it's sad. I'd love to do love to see you do a TED Talk. Cheers. I'll be unscripted, obviously. Cheers, Gamble Addicts. 1, 2, 3. You should write a book. I am planning to do so, even if it might be for me. I might not even publish it. I might just give it away and stuff like that. It's going to take me ages, and obviously I've got to fit it in around family life. So I work for a third-party logistics company called Kuhn Nagel. Basically, I work at a Heineken depot, so we move off-trade beer and cider around the country. So if you see like all your local shops and all your main supermarkets full of beer and all that lot and cider, it's usually us who's moving it around. That's why I'm trying to say, Matt, education would be important. You could probably as such then probably teach it as a problem. Gambling is a harmful activity. Perhaps also cryptocurrency. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people going through these stages now as well, Michelle. I see it all that. How often do I think about gambling now, Tim? Not really. I still get the odd dream now and again. Wake up and think, what the hell's just happened? It's crazy. Yeah, I will agree in part, James. Online gambling stream. Hi, Mr. Lion. Hope you're all well. Cheers, JK. Right, going well. Stay strong. Cheers, mate. You take care. Do you think online gambling streamers help or hinder people? For me personally, it would hinder me if I watched them every day, especially at the start of my recovery. It's like I've said before, just earlier on. It's like keeping the cage door open for a lion. Really. I know some people it helps them, but for me, not personally for me. Do you ever get cravings and think I'd really love a bet? No. No. If you ask Dave, do you ever get cravings and think I'd really love a bet? No, not at all. Not at all. Have I missed it on occasion? Yeah, I probably have missed it once or twice. Especially, I say 3 or 4 years in when Grand National come around and things like that. Because horse racing, I loved. And I was still watching it as a spectator sport. Probably similar to like watching streams and stuff like that. I do think it needs some sort of form of education though, Matt. It really does. I mean, what if I went into a school and shared my story? Do you think that might be effective? You've spoken in the past about getting anxiety around. What do you think? Why do you think this is? It's weird. It's hard. I mean, this time I'm not really that fussed, but I think even though I say day at a time, it's always in the back of your head. I want to get to that anniversary. I want to do it. I want to do it, and I have. But I've noticed that I get touchy and I get a bit hard with it. I probably get a bit too hard on myself as well. So I make sure I get to my meetings and things like that. It's weird. It's weird. It's a day. It should be just another day, but it isn't. If you know what I mean. It's special, and it's hard, Tim. It's probably hard to explain, really, but it is what it is. I just make sure I've got to get there by any means necessary. If it means me travelling hundreds of miles to a meeting, so be it. I went to a meeting in Northampton last year for my day before my 10 years. The day before my 5 years, I went to a meeting in Bolton on a Friday night. Yeah, I agree. It does seem. Also, I haven't got a person with people you'd be educated. Understanding right is even less, so why would they not have a harmless bet? I do think some form of education, because I, I, I get what you're saying in a way, Matt, but I do think no one knows. You talk to like a bunch of 14, 15-year-old kids, it's there in their face already. You're telling me on a playground and they've not like had a couple of quid with each other on a football bet and things like that, and they probably don't understand the risks with money. I probably even take it as a more of a sense of like talking about how to work with your finances and stuff when you're older and things like that. Really, I know people who've watched the stream site, Mr. Lion, and some say it helps them. For me personally, it's not for me. So yeah, I'd love to, Michelle. I'd love to you. Do I think Derby will get promoted? We bottle it every year, Tim. We bottle it bloody every year, mate. I'd love to see him do. Hi, Fob Tad. Nice to hear you talking. I hope you're doing well. Keep going day at a time, mate. I'm always here for a message. Alright? You're always half cut, you are. Gamble addict. Probably you're right, Matt. Probably you're right. Yeah, I mean, that's the next big thing. Esports and loot boxes as well. A big thing, big topic at a minute, Gareth, as well. So probably read up a lot about that as well. And I'm currently 3 days into my recovery. What is your best advice for remaining gamble free? Have you had any help, mobile gamer, at all? Have you gone to GA? I think I might have talked to you before. Probably. Try Gams Anonymous. Try Gam Care. Try just keep reaching out for help. Be honest. If you've got a partner, friend or family, confide in them. Tell the truth. Be honest. Get someone to look after your money. Get blocking the websites. Get self-excluding. Just a few quid for me turned into thousands, Matt. And that's probably where I probably say it as an emotional stance, really. It's everyone like with alcohol, oh yeah, just the one's going to be alright. Just a quick fag will be alright. And things like that. With drugs, I can't. Drugs are drugs, aren't they, at the end of the day? Hi Andy, what is your best way to avoid gambling when you get the urge? I talk about time, money and opportunity, Mark. The best way to avoid the urge is take yourself out of the situation. If you've got any money on you, give it to somebody. Take yourself out of the opportunity. Block the websites. Self-exclude. Put as many barriers in place as you can to stop yourself to actually bet. Especially what Michelle's just told you there as well. Have you had any other addictions? No, other than my usual absolutely getting my hopes up about Derby County. That's a problem. A big problem in young males is an ego. It's very difficult for me, especially under 20s. As I say, Tim, the problem's getting younger for me. And I do still think there's a massive stigma as well. Really, for me as well. So, like I say, don't want to get help. All I can say is I'm reaching out. If anyone needs help, feel free to come along and talk to me. Where do you live, mobile gamer? Have you talked to anybody else who's a gambling addict? Try and get into a WhatsApp group. I know it's probably not as ideal as like meeting people and everything like that, but there's WhatsApp groups out there. I do believe if you find me on Twitter, I could probably try and get you into one, or you can talk to me. I've been to the Greyhounds once, Tim, for a stag do, but I had no money on me. Hey, Wolves fan James, yeah. Well done this season, boys. Yeah, but have you been into casino? No, I've not been into one apart from to a Greyhound meeting. Would I trust myself going to a bookies? Oh, no. Why would I put myself in the line of fire? Why would I put myself in the line of fire? Take the opportunity away from me. Yeah, I mean, Mobile Gamer, I'm sure if you can message me at some point, feel free. You can chat to me on WhatsApp. Try and find me on Twitter, Barrowmad79. Okay? I'm going to give it 5 more minutes, guys, then I'm going to wrap it up for the evening. If that's okay. It's nice to talk to as many people as possible. This is longer than last week as well. I am definitely keen on doing this every Sunday, I think. No problem, Mobile Gamer. No problem at all. It's been nice. It's nice to see you all conversing to each other. Do you think gambling is ever cured, or is it a lifelong disease that is only preventable through barriers? For me, I'm never going to be cured. I know some people would say that. Really. But I'm 99% certain I'll never gamble again. I've got to keep that 1% in check. I can't never say never, if you know what I mean. Hi from Sweden, correct one. Follow us since give you a shout out from Sweden. Brilliant. I hope you're well over there. If you can't bet, you can't lose. Imagine how much you have saved in your... I've saved my life, Mark. I've saved my life. All I can say, mate. Life's so much better. The money takes care of itself. Life gets better. It's amazing, mate. I feel so relieved I don't gamble anymore. What's all your bids? And thank you, Mobile Gamer. That's very humbling for you to say. Yes, I was, James. I was close. Close to running away as well. Just trying to get away from it all. But you got to man up and face up, haven't you? That'd be great, that would. I'll let you choose, Michelle. Let you choose. Brilliant. Brilliant, Tim. Brilliant. Hope fresh. Nice to know you. Great stuff. More thoughts more than anything, James. More thoughts more than anything. Did have tablets at one stage. Did some daft things. Let's put it that way. Okay, last couple of minutes, guys. I feel like I'm waffling on a lot at the minute, but it's so nice to see many people interacting with each other and trying to help each other. This is what it's all about for me. Not learning to take responsibility. It's great. It's amazing. Don't worry, James. Not at all. Hi, Alicia Snugs. Hello. Hello. Hope you're well, whoever you are. Is everyone from... I know Michelle's from the States, and I've just seen someone from Sweden. Anyone else from different countries apart from England, from the UK? I'm famous. I'm just gobby, gamble at it. I'm just gobby. Wolverhampton, great stuff. Just down the road from me then, really. No problem, Mobile Gamer. No problem. Great stuff. From Sutton, as in Sutton, Mansfield way, isn't it? Notts. Am I right? Sutton and Ashfield, yeah, definitely. It's alright because my mum and dad live Sutton on Sea, which is on the Lincolnshire coast. Right then, guys, I am going to bow out here now. So, okay, just one more. Just seen a new guy. Hi, Lewis. Got to say well done. No, I mean, seriously, you couldn't do what you have done, so well done. You can do it, Lewis. You can do it. I never thought I could never do it, at all. I never thought I could never do it. But here I am, nearly 11 years later. You can, Lewis. You can do it, honestly. Yeah, I've got a season ticket, mate, for my sins, James. Right then, guys, I've been going on for 45 minutes now. I promise next Sunday I'll do another one. It'll be work depending, but I will talk about it in the week and stuff and all like that. So thanks for posting all your messages and your questions, guys. Really appreciate it. Depends on work, James, if I get to Molyneux for that one. But isn't it on the Sky already? Okay, thank you for all your help. If you contact also Michelle on I am at Well Played Where as well, she can help as well. Brilliant. Right, take care, guys. All the best. Thank you.